Hey folks, Ron here with Oregon Hot Rod. Went out to the swap meet today, what was that, a wild and crazy swap meet or some damn thing at the fairgrounds in Salem. And kind of disappointed there wasn't a whole lot of stuff there. I was charging $8 at the door for the swap meet and $8 at the door for the car show, and I thought, well, these guys are money grubbers. Anyway, but to make a long story short, I did buy a couple things. One of those things was a new headlight switch for the rat rod, because the other one I got was a cheap ass thing from China. And then I bought this vise. Now, I got to tell you, I couldn't pass up on the vise. The guy wanted $25 for it, and I just picked it up, kind of looked at it, and he says, $15. And I go, The guy's dad comes up, must have been an 80-year-old dude, and he goes, hell, $10. And I go, I can't pass up a big-ass vise for $10. It looks like crap. It needs a bunch of work. I've already started on it, so I'm just going to show you a little bit of what I've done. But I'm going to restore this thing. This is a very old vise, and it's big. But first of all, I managed to get the inside bolt here. Got this thing loose. Just simply used a rubber hammer and lots of PB blaster. So I got that loose, got that off of here. Now I'm working on pulling the top part of this off. I actually have got it already loose. And the way I did that, lots of PB blaster again. And then it's got a great big huge bolt here on the back. And I really didn't have a socket to fit it. So what I did is I put a lot of PB blaster on it, and I grabbed a hammer and I started beating on it. Now this here's one of the tricks I learned back years ago as a marine machinist, that you can do little tricks like this when you got rusted up bolts, and it works really good. If you just beat on it for a little bit, kind of loosen everything up, a lot of PB blaster, a lot of rust killer, and it'll break them loose. And this one here came loose pretty easily. I just used my bar here, got this on here, and just started twisting her off of there, and she's coming loose. So I'll have this off of here pretty quick, and there it goes right there. And I've already got my bottom plate off there. That's a big deal, just getting that bottom plate off there. I don't know if you try getting these things off, but they're no fun. Looks like I got a bolt to get out of over here in the bottom plate. I don't know what's going on there. Looks like it's probably just screwed in, but I don't know. We'll probably have, yeah, it's not going to come out of there very easy. But when I finish getting this thing tore apart, I'm going to take it down to the bead blaster, start bead blasting it. But I do have one little problem here that I'm going to have to deal with, and that's one of the jaws here in this thing. One of these jaws has been broken, so I'm going to have to probably make a jaw for it to put on this other side here to get it all evened out, but that's another time. We'll worry about that at some other time, but right now I just want to get this thing torn apart, get her cleaned up, and we'll go from there. So anyway, I'll get back at you later, let you know how it's going, and we'll get this thing all restored and stuff, make a real pretty vise out of it. So okay, so we've got this thing all broke down now. We've got it down to the three main pieces. I got the inside jaw, I got the outside jaw, and the base. I still have to get the screw part out of here, If you know how vices work, you have a big screw in here that screws into the bottom base here, which is right in here, and that's what moves the jaws back and forth, and then it slides in this little opening right here, just slides in there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet with getting the rest of this apart yet. This here, there's actually a little pin inside here. It looks to be an Allen screw. Hopefully that'll come out. I've got PB blaster set in there for right now. So I'm just going to let it set overnight and come back at it and try and get the rest of this done at a later time. And so I just want to kind of get her apart today, find out what I've got to work with and what I need to get started on it. So anyway, this is Ron signing out. We'll be back at you, let you know what's going on here. Okay folks, so we're back at it here. So I'm wanting to tear down this, the rest of the way here. I have discovered that the shaft here, the screw on it, does have an Allen head bolt, so I've got a screw. So it's the PB blaster has worked really well. It's got her all loosened up. So I'm going to try and pull her out here and see if we can get this shaft out. Looky there. There's the little collar that holds this thing together. Damn. How simple can that be? Little set deal in the shaft. Boom. And we're all on track here now. So next thing to do here is start getting this thing cleaned up. Now I did some investigating. This here is a 62C American scales vise. I didn't see a 62C vise. I've seen 63s and 60s, some others. I'm going to have to check a little bit closer and stuff like that. But this seems to be a pretty, I wouldn't say it's an oddball, but it is kind of a different type vise. Okay, so I got a tape measure here. I wanted to measure this and see what actual size that this is. That's what I was suspecting. It's actually a 3.5 inch American scales vise. Now, I told you I had a missing jaw, a broken jaw here on this thing, this jaw right here. However, I got looking, and I don't know if it's the same jaw or not, but the replacement jaws for this are expensive as hell. What I seen is about $88 for a pair of jaws. So in the upcoming videos, I have a funny feeling what you'll be seeing me do is make a pair of jaws for this, or at least the one for this side. The one on the other side here doesn't appear to be in too bad a shape. The serration is worn pretty badly, but that's all right. It's an old vise too. So we'll clean it up and we'll see what it looks like once we get her done. But at this point, I'm going to take you down. We're going to get this cleaned out. I'm going to put it into the parts cleaner and see if we can't get it cleaned up a little bit before I go trying to bead blast it or anything like that. So I'll see you down at the other shop. Okay, so here we are down at the other shop. I'm going to get started. I'm going to start cleaning up these parts. Got them all set in here and everything. start scraping them down, wire brushing them, doing all the other stuff that is necessary to get all the dirt and grease and grime of 100 years off of these things, and get them up to a point to where they're ready to be put back together, or painted at least, and we'll just kind of go from there. Anyway, I'll get back to you as soon as I get these things all cleaned up, and I don't suppose you really want to sit and watch me wash them all and all that stuff, so I'll be back. Okay, so parts are clean. We got the worst of the grime off of them and stuff. There's still a lot to do on them. You can see they're looking a lot better. Got all the heavy grime off of them and stuff. So next is to put them on the wire wheel, get out the wire brushes and all that stuff, and Dremel tool and all these other little goodies that I use to get all these parts cleaned up, and probably even have to use the die grinder a little bit on some of it, because I do have a couple areas here that's got some ridges, and they did some welding on the one jaw here, actually on both the jaws. A few little dings and stuff, but actually the darn thing's in really nice shape. It's just unfortunate that the one jaw is missing, and so, but we'll fix that. That's no problem. Even if I have to go buy another one, I don't care. But I think I can make one easier and cheaper than I can go buy a set of them for. But we'll see how it turns out, and if it warrants it, then we'll do that. But I do have an issue here, because when this came off, it did actually break, and there's parts of the metal missing. The screws probably got broken off in there, and so that's going to become a problem here eventually, but I think I can overcome that. I'll have to dig into my box of tricks to get them out of there and figure it all out, but we'll work it out. Anyway, so I'm going to get on the grinding wheel here and the wire brush, and I'm going to start cleaning up some of these parts now. I was going to do a bunch of bead blasting, but I think I'm going to try and refrain from that as much as I can, because this is such an old vise, and I don't want to devalue it by doing a whole bunch of media blasting on it and stuff like that, although it is, a lot of it is just pot metal or cast. I want to try and maintain as much of the originality as I can on it, so I'm just going to try and see if I can get it all cleaned up with just you know, a little bit of hard work and elbow grease. And so anyway, I'll get back to you when I get all this stuff cleaned up, and we'll see where we're at that point. Okay, so starting to make some headway here. Kind of got a few of the pieces kind of cleaned up a little bit here. This here still has got stuff going on. You know, some of the parts here. You know, clean these up on a wire brush on the grinding wheel. Really cleans them up really nice. Gets everything off of them, kind of even shines them up a little bit, brings them back to their natural state. Got a lot of welding slag on this here to clean up, same on this one here, but you know, on these big pieces, I'm using a grinder and cleaning them up. I still got these other two pieces here to do. I'm going to take a break and come back at this in a little while and see if I can't finish these up, kind of get everything kind of cleaned up, and then I'm going to start doing the actual, what I would call the restoration work. Is actually, you know, sanding things down, making it pretty, and and actually making it look nice and get it ready for reassemble, or painting and then reassemble. So anyway, we're on out.